Well, hello folks now, and welcome to the Pirate Round. We're here with our friend Captain Turner of the pirate ship Drake, who's just sailed up from the southern seas to visit us here in Nassau. And my name be Captain Scarletipus, and this be the Scarlet Raven. And as we start every episode of the Pirate Round, we salute our friends who are here and who are not here, and those who have come to visit and those who we wish would visit, but then also who have passed on. And we say to you in great memory, smooth sailing friends, and we wish you were here, your heart.
And let's also not forget our friends we've yet to meet.
And friends we've yet to meet along the way. Or it burns like the devil's arse.
So just a little quick blog here, or a little intro here. Just to remind you that Captain Scarletipus and I plan on being at the Northwest Pirate Festival in Lacey, Washington, July 13th and 14th. We're trying to talk this one into coming, but he may have some other journeys that he may have to make this year. But maybe next year we can talk him into it if this be a good inaugural year for the Northwest Pirate Festival. So we hope to see you there. If you find us, look for the Raven Banner. We do plan on having the Raven Banner there. And say hello to us. We'll be walking around and enjoying ourselves. Also, I want to get this guy. No.
Oh, look at their first mate.
The first matey here.
Me first mate.
I'll let him join the other first
now,
mate.
do you, first mate?
Now, I want to also say, if you can find the Blunder Monkey, there's a Blunder Monkey.
There's a Blunder Monkey.
And it'd be a curse if you find the Blunder Monkey, because you might be getting one of our shirts. Actually, you will be getting one of our shirts.
That's what you will.
Once we get them fully designed, we have some test ones that we've done. And we'll be talking about that here a little bit more later about the shirt. But if you can find the Blunder Monkey, and you can be the first one that replies and lets us know that you found the Blunder Monkey and where exactly you found it, you'll be getting a shirt once we get them.
That's true. All right, no. We were exploring knots before, and you know, Captain Turner's quite a naughty pirate. But we want to talk about one significant knot and a very useful thing that we might have aboard ship. And that'd be the monkey fist. Is that right, Captain Turner?
Aye, that'd be right. Very useful knot.
Very useful knot. Now, we've talked a bit about how you can use it as a weapon, as a way to throw a line out to sailors in the water, or if you want to throw a line from ship to ship, or if you want to just wear it about your neck as bling.
Aye.
We've got the monkey's fist. So Captain Turner now is going to take himself some ropes, and he's going to tie some monkey's fist and show us how it's done.
Now, real quick thing there, Captain Turner. I've noticed that monkey fists have 4, 5, 6 different wraps around.
Aye, you can make it with anywhere from 3 and up. The more loops you have, this one have 4. The more loops you put in it, the more tricky it gets to be.
I can see that,
Yeah, to dress the knot.
Okay.
Now, tying a monkey's fist, the idea is simple enough, but it'd be a bit tricky getting it all tidied up.
Okay.
So that'd be the most time-consuming part.
Okay.
That you could spend a lot of time on that.
Dude, looks like one heck of a knot, I see.
It is indeed.
Okay, well, you're going to use the heavy line.
I'm going to use this line right here because
Okay.
it'd be easier to show, whereas the cotton be easier to learn.
Sure.
You want something that's not going to poke your fingers too much or be too stiff, and this doesn't want to move too easily,
Right.
but it'd be easy to see.
All right.
So you start with your rope in your left hand like this if you'd be right-handed, with the rope sticking up, just like Scarlet Raven.
I just happen to have some rope myself.
Perfect.
Okay.
You loop it around your hand and make sure it's not too tight. You want to have plenty of room here.
Because if you put it too tight, you're not going to be getting your hand
Aye,
over it.
and you're going to be wanting to go through it several times with the rope.
There.
So that's one loop. And I'm going to teach you how to do 3 loops. It'd be the easiest way to learn.
That's good enough,
So you go around again, make sure that it's about the same loop.
Okay.
And then one more time.
Same
to make
size, I think.
3.
Yar.
And you want them to be uniform in size.
Nice and uniform.
Okay, so we do a third then.
Aye.
Okay, there you go.
Aye, that'd be perfect.
There's a third there.
And once you get it through 3 times like this, then you want to come around the whole thing this way.
Now, how did you do that now? You came around.
Come around the back side of your hand.
Around the back side of the hand.
Okay.
Like that.
And over the thumb.
Over the thumb.
Over the thumb
Now
then.
this be where it become a bit tricky, because you want to hold things in place, and sometimes
Your hands crumple.
yeah, indeed. You're trying to hold too many pieces at once.
Right.
But you go over it there and around again.
Now, is it better to go over, under, around?
It'd be better to, let me see, we'll start over here. This would be hard to show. So you got your 3, 1, 2,
3,
and 3.
Okay.
So then you want to go around behind it. And I use my fingers to hold this in place while I go around.
True.
This is already getting tingled up a bit. So once you go around 1, then you'd be wanting to go around again.
Okay.
So I noticed you've kind of got it between your index finger and your birdie finger.
To hold it put. You want it to stay put.
Okay.
That'd be... I be doing something wrong here.
You can see how it can be easy.
It can become quite tricky. I'm going to do it this way instead. So I'm going to move my hand up.
All right.
And move it around that way.
There you go.
There you go. That'd be easier to show. So you put your hand through, you go around it that way. And you go 1, 2, and 3. So now you should have...
Don't think I have that quite right. So I've got my little finger here. And you said go around this way, and you go over the top.
I know around the bottom.
Around the bottom. So it'd be kind of looser then.
So you only want to have some of your fingers through there because there'd be not enough room.
Okay.
There you go.
So maybe put your little pinky finger or your index finger.
Well.
Oh, that'd be tricky.
It'd be a tricky knot.
Okay, there we go.
This would be an expert level knot.
Cool. So 1, 2. Now, do you want to loop it over this loop then?
No.
No. Okay.
Underneath, so they line up.
Underneath, so they line up. Okay, 1.
Just like that.
2, 3. There you go. All right. I think I've got it.
I see. You got 1.
I got 3 there. I've got 3 here. Yar. Okay.
Yar.
Close beat. Yar. Okay.
So you've got 1, 2, 3. You'd be right. One more, and then you'd be wanting to go pull a couple of fingers out so you have some room, and then start wrapping it around that way. That'd be 1. Oh, that'd be a flopping. It'd be a floppy rope. So it'd be wrapped around the rope. That'd be good.
So put it kind of through then.
So once you've got your 3 loops, wrapped around your 3 loops, then we're going to do 3 more loops, but this time we're going to go through. So you need to find the end of your rope. And I have a rope that's a bit longer than it needs to be here.
Oh, I see you change your hand so that you can hold it on like a figure 8.
Like a figure 8.
Okay. Then you get the other end.
The other end of the rope.
I got the other end laying down here by Polly's bum.
Now this one, it'd be important to try and keep all these loops nice and straight, because it'd make it much easier later. So now you want to take the end of the rope. If this is coming, if your third loop comes on the bottom, then you want to go up through the top.
Into the top.
So probably about time to pull out your index finger.
And if you have 3 hands, this would be a good time to use it.
If you got your third hand.
And you go around. I noticed. You don't go this way, you go
around. Indeed.
Okay, and once you go through that loop, then do you come through the bottom then?
You do.
Okay.
And you're going to put 3 times.
Oh, 3 times, Yar. Look at that.
The theme here being 3 loops.
3, the Holy Trinity, they say.
Now the good news is once you be going through once, this loop going through here helps hold all the other loops in place a bit, so it makes it easier to do the next couple of loops.
Cool.
Alright, see now we have it through 1 here. Put it through again here. And it'd be important to keep these loops, if you can, nice and tidy next to each other, so that they're not crossing over each other, but going next to each other.
Oh, okay. And we're going to put 3 in there then, you see.
3 loops.
All right.
I wish I had a shorter rope here.
Well, Still.
Be on the short end of the rope.
Be the short end of the rope, you see.
But we don't want to be on the short end of the rope.
And so after the third time, then you got it through there.
I need to do one more loop still here. Let's be slower with this long rope. I believe that will be 3.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, look
So
at that.
now I'll be having 3. Yeah, 3 loops.
Yep. Yeah.
So you should have 3 loops, circled by 3 loops,
Yar.
circled by 3 loops.
Right.
A Triskelion.
Yeah, 3 here, 3 there, and 3 there. Yep, we got them.
For ye who are Irish, the Triskelion.
I believe I did something wrong.
I can see how easy that would be.
I did do something wrong, and I apologize. I'm going to have to undo these 3 loops. This loop should have gone through here
there you go.
first. So I believe we're going to have to undo these last 3 loops.
Well, you hadn't have enough rum there.
I haven't
I
had
think I'm
enough.
going to have to redo all
I
my
usually do
altogether.
this with a bit more rum on board.
Ah, well, we've always got plenty, don't we, Polly?
Okay. Rum. So I'm doing
Let's
this.
just start all over again. See if I can even catch up.
Shall we start over again?
No,
I think I've got mine.
Got yours good?
I think so. It's a naughty problem, they say. But we're solving it.
Okay, so I'd be having 3 loops.
There you go.
Around 3 loops.
There you go.
Now, where I went wrong before was going up through the top. You want to go through the bottom here.
Oh, well, I probably got mine backwards, but we'll see here in a minute.
Going through the bottom. That'd be the first loop. Maybe twisty knot. There we go. And that come back up through the top then. Once you've gone through the bottom, then go up through the top. I've made that mistake many a times tying the monkey's fist. It'd be an easy mistake to make.
Ah, I bet you so.
Probably just as good that I made it so we can show how not to do it.
Well, you know, showing someone how not to do something is almost as important as showing them how to do it.
Aye, that'd be true.
Yeah.
And then we go back through again. And making another loop. And once this loop goes through, it should be holding it all in place. Very nice and neat.
Looks like it. There you go.
There you go. So, we have... Nope.
One
I
more?
still did something wrong. What did I do? 1, 2... I'd be starting over. I don't know where I went wrong. I went wrong somewhere along the line. I'd be starting over.
All right, somewhere aboard there.
And that'd be part of tying a monkey's fist. Sometimes you need to start over.
Sometimes.
If it doesn't clean up properly and you've lost your way.
You totally want your line to clean up now. You don't want to be lubberly with a bad line there aboard ship. And you know, your mates will not be forgiving you if you have lines stowed lubberly. They won't. They like their cordage in their line to be as neat as possible, for that shows that you be a good seaman or sea lady, and you want to have the best lines possible there aboard your ship, but always stow it neatly.
I indeed. So we're going 1, twice, 3 loops. Nice and even. We'll be wrapping them around.
I heard the Commodore singing a song once, twice, 3 times the note.
Once,
3
twice,
times
3 times the notice. I remember that song by the Commodore. A great song.
Aye, indeed. There we be.
There's a punishment to you.
Now I've gotten through loops. I need to find the end here to go through the middle. There it is.
Oh, you got your rope there wrapped around your armaments there.
Aye, indeed. We get tangled in the ropes, and that'd be a bad place to be on a ship.
You don't want to be tangled up. Well, it could tear you through one way or the other.
Aye, so we'd be going through the bottom.
There you go. Go through the bottom.
Not the top, but the bottom.
Comes in there.
Comes through.
Yar.
Yar.
Ah, that makes sense.
Now this be right. This be proper.
That'd be a proper one.
The problem be I've been trying to tie knots and teach how to tie knots at the same time, and then too many things to do at once.
Too many things to say. Too many things to pay attention to.
We go back through the bottom again, and we do that 3 times to make 3 loops. be a second time through. So we should have 2 loops here and 2 loops here. Go back through it again.
Next time we're going to tie this with a lot less rope.
Aye, about half this size.
Yep.
I think I might be having it there.
Still though, we'll get it.
Oh, that'd be looking pretty good. That'd be. That'd be 2.5 loops. I need to go back through the bottom one more time. And then we'd be 3 loops through. Now at that point,
I've got something looking kind of like this, I think. It might be right. Maybe not.
not quite. I think something's not quite right.
Oh, go ahead.
At this point, so you can see we have our first 3 loops.
True.
Right.
And we have our second 3 loops here. And then our third 3 loops going through
There.
Yeah. So at this point, we just be cleaning up the knot. And that'd be where the time is in this particular knot.
Okay.
So we'd be needing to tighten down these loops. Now what I like to do is this first end that you started from, tie a simple overhand knot. That's what they call a granny knot.
And where do you tie that at then?
At the first end where you started to
Okay,
make loops
tie it
from.
off the end.
Aye.
I think I have a short end of the rope.
Yeah, I need that short end there. See.
Okay, so I got my granny knot in there.
And then that gets tucked down inside this whole mess here.
Oh, look at that. That's at the center.
Aye. But when you tuck it in there, you want to see where it comes out, which loop is the first loop that you started tying. And that'd be this loop here in my case, the first loop. Because that's where you're going to start tightening your knot. So that loop you want to start pushing through to make it a little bigger on the other side and smaller on this side. And then when that becomes bigger there, you grab the next one, you pull it down. And going loop by loop, you just tighten them all down. And that'd be the time part of this knot. It takes a long time to get this all tight and neat
Look at that.
and tidied up.
Cool. I see it starting to come about.
See, there it is. It comes out the other side.
There. Do.
And that'd be how you dress the knot. So you'll want to do that for each and every loop in this knot. As one gets pulled through, it becomes bigger, and then you end up with this big loop here. And you start pushing it through to the next loop there. And when you do that, it's important to try and keep these loops all lined up.
And I got that one. That one there. And that one needs to be pulled back through that way. And that one pulled back through that way, yeah. That's like that. And then this one needs to be pulled back through that way.
Sometimes if you're not sure, you can kind of push on the end a little bit. It'll push out the backside, and you can kind of see where it should come through. So as long as you keep going in the proper direction, you'll keep dressing up the knot nice and neat and tidy. This would be a knot that requires some practice and some patience.
Oh, I can see you've got to be quite patient with this one here.
Aye. And you can see why more loops would be more tricky to tie as well.
would be,
The more
yeah.
loops you have, the more there's to
Quite a few.
keep track of and tidy up. So as we just go around all these various loops here, be tidying them up.
To tighten it up and make a nice tight knot there, you don't want it to be lubberly.
No, you don't. And it makes it easier to tell where it's coming through if you try pushing it through or pulling on the one behind it. You can tell where it came from.
That's true. Yeah.
Pull it through and try to keep these loops from crossing over one another. That'll give you a nice tidy knot.
True.
You thinking a monkey got a hold of my rope and tied the knot?
Now, one thing you could do, folks, is if you happen to have one of these things here now, this be a marlin spike. And a marlin spike be a roper's best friend, I think.
Give you a nice tidy knot.
So you want to make a nice tidy knot there, and you pull it one way or the other, back and forth and through.
You'd be thinking a monkey got a hold of mine and
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And the
true.
more you do it, the quicker and easier it gets to do. I've done a lot of these knots, and you can spend as much time as you want tightening it down real good and snug.
Yeah.
And the time that you want, if you wanted to put something inside it, you would do that about the same time you're tucking that knot in, the very first knot before you start dressing your knot.
No, true. And now, one thing that's very useful to have now, if you have yourself a marlin spike. Now, a marlin spike allows you to stick your spike in one end of the rope and pull it through and lever it from one way to the other, and then pull it through and tighten it. Or it allows you to go between the fibers of the rope like that and pry it apart, and so that you can take one end of the rope and stick it through the other.
Aye, that'd be useful when tying an ice splice.
In ice splice, yeah, and you can do that now. And
Now I whipped this one here, so that wouldn't happen, but you can still do it right in the middle of it.
Sure, yeah, you would
No,
take it.
would that be ice spliced, baby?
Ice splice, baby, and it'd be going through the rope like that to splice it apart, to pull it apart so that you can splice the other end, or right through it like that, and make a nice tidy end.
Aye.
Now this be called a marlin spike, and it'd be very useful there for a sailor to have one. You could fold it over, and if you've got a marlin spike then, and if you've got a blade on the other end for you to be cutting your ropes, when you've got a frayed end and you cut it off, and then you keep this here upon your person, and every sailor had his own knife there, very useful there for dressing up ropes. So I think I'm ended up getting a kind
Fairly
of
decent monkey's fist there.
It's a kind of a decent monkey's
Aye.
fist. Goes
You
about.
can see how it'd be easier to throw the rope to someone with
Certainly.
that. Really get some heft to it.
Yeah, I do.
Much easier to hold onto that than just especially when it's wet and you're out. It's very easy to hold onto.
Yep. Hold on to the
Or
end
if
of
you
that.
needed to grab a hold of it and chuck it.
Right, chuck it there.
But
somewhere.
doing it this way,
Yeah.
you get more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, folks, that's be a monkey's fist. A very useful thing to have aboard ship, and very useful skill to know as a sailor. Well, not only as a pirate, of course, but as a sailor in general.
Or even as a maiden who wants to keep the losers, or whatever you might want to call them.
Back loser. True.
The unwanteds coming after
unwanted
you.
way.
You back them upside the head and
That you do.
they might stop coming after you.
That you do. Aye. Well, now, I believe we're gonna conclude this here episode of the Pirate Round. It's beyond notes, ropes and knots. Not notes. Too much wrong, I see. It'd be on ropes and knots, and our friend Captain Turner here instructing us there on the proper use of lines and cords and putting knots in it. And we say to you now, friends, you're hard and smooth sailing, and in the Pirate Round, from all of us here, don't let anyone grind you down under the heel, because you be a pirate. And being a pirate, well, it's very important because you're being yourself in no one else's desire but your own. And don't take shite from no one.
It's always important to be yourself.
It is.
Indeed.
And to be a pirate.
Indeed.
Last.
You're hard.
You're hard.
Thank you.